So this week, the big talk was Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump has returned to the campaign trail. That is what has been said. But I'd like to comment a little bit on what the media is doing to march us into another Trump presidency. First of all, Trump made campaign stops in 2 southern states, which make it believable that people would actually come out to see him. And then the media reported with these photos of tightly packed venues. Even though they're smaller venues, they were tightly packed. So many people holding up cell phones to get that footage of their beloved Trump. And then there were long discussions on different outlets about what does it mean that Trump is only going to these smaller outlets. He seems to be staying on script, if that's possible. What does that mean? That must make his handlers very happy. What does it mean that he's starting his campaign before everyone else? What does it all mean? And what does it look like for the Republican field? They're all taking it very, very seriously. But I think the main question that needs to be asked here, if you follow me, is the people in those audiences, were they paid? Before we talk about Trump's triumphant return to the political stage, we need to know if this was like literally just another PR thing. Everyone knows that. I believe it was the campaign announcement in 2015. Trump paid actors to fill out those seats. Let's not forget that. That is an important part of what we need to know. Before we even discuss this, can we get a sense if this is just another PR thing? I mean, if you ask me, those images of hundreds of cell phones being held up, all at the exact angle that would make them easily photographable with completely clear views of Trump and nobody getting a missed call from their Aunt Bertha or nobody screen cracked or anything, that is like a PR thing. It's not a great photo. It's not like the Time Life guy was over there catching a great. That's I'm telling you, his whole candidacy is a money funnel. He's going to continue to fleece the angry working man and woman who are so blind in their desire to own the libs that they'll give him so much money that they will never own like a car or a house or whatever. The run is not real, people. And I have to say, neither was the last one. But because we're so jacked up in the media system here and in our country, he won anyway. So that is something to look out for. Ay, God, we need to do our due diligence, I think. Do we not? As journalists? Fool me once. George W. Bush said, fool me once. You can't fool me once, can't fool me again. That's what he said because he couldn't remember how it goes. And frankly, neither can I, that saying. Anyway, here's an article. NBC News said that the Trump campaign recently expanded its digital fundraising team by hiring the firm Campaign Inbox to solicit the small donor set. They reported on this. They suggest, and here's the quote, that he did this to quote, it's a sign that Trump understands he'll need to raise more money faster for what promises to be a competitive GOP primary campaign. Oh, yes, that's what it's a sign of. It's not just a sign that he's running another grift on people that he's going to play out as long as that PayPal account will still cha-ching in his favor. I mean, I have not seen one outlet so far cover this in any reasonable manner. I think that we need to, I mean, some outlets said he made a campaign stop at a burger and fries joint. I don't think it was a campaign stop. I think it was just a stop. That's where he would normally stop anyway. Stop calling it a campaign stop unless, we get the receipts from the people he paid to be there and shake his bloated, greasy meat hook. Ugh. I mean, all the reporting and documentaries and everything that are out about him and who he is, the historical record reflecting who he was before he even came to office should drive the headlines in the news to be more realistic. Something like a former president accused rapist Insurrectionist money launderer Donald Trump stages photo op to convince Americans to send him money. That is the headline. That's the headline. And then we can go back to talking about actual real things that are important and happening now. Things like police brutality and the killing of an environmental activist by police. Again, police brutality. And perhaps let's not forget that we need to still continue to talk about the guns problem and the unhinged with the guns problem that keeps popping up. I mean, just this is a little bit it's a little bit crazy. And I taught in journalism school. Well, I taught writing news, and basically you're supposed to pick a hook, pick a title, use your news judgment to point to the reality of the situation. And the fact is that so many news outlets, I haven't really found very many, are treating this like a serious thing. And I think if we didn't do that last time, we might not be in this situation.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.